Lights are down on the speedway, 20 laps the distance. Final feature of the night. Wettengull will set the pace. Sutherland to his outside. Turn him loose. We are green, 20 laps the distance.
Good start out of Wettengull as he goes down to the bottom side of the speedway. Ross going to slide up. Oh, excuse me, not Ross. Or it is Ross. Man, that's a hard number to read there. The 34, it looks like a 4. But right here comes Donlin and the 56H of Brandon Hare working the bottom side of the track. Everybody makes it through. Click lap number 1 in the books.
Wettengull leads lap number 1, the 91J. Wettengull hails from Topeka, Kansas, as Kevin Donlin takes to the top side of the racetrack in the 33. Everybody else beating and banging, fighting over the same piece of real estate on the bottom of the racetrack. And meanwhile, Donlin to the top. He likes what he sees up there, the 33 car in a smooth cruise on the top lane, looking to come to the 3rd spot. Hare settled for 2nd. Wettengull still leads, and Donlin the one to watch right now in car 33.
That's Boone Evans Jr., in the 4JR working the bottom side of the track. Look, he's got his deck lid slowing him down there as well as that's flapping in the winds.
That hood pin getting tested for durability right now, trying to hold that baby on there. Meanwhile, the top 2 cars still glued to the bottom. Donlin searching the top, banging the right rear off the cushion. And here comes Hare Nation. Wettengull opens the door. Hare takes a look, fighting off the bottom side of the racetrack, side by side for the lead off of turn number 2.
Brandon Hare showing how it's done. Now works the bottom, going to take the 56H to the catbird seat. Can Wettengull cross him back over? We'll see. Hare hammers down, and he's going to be the leader on lap number 5.
Wettengull leans on him just a little bit, trying to move him up the racetrack. Wettengull crosses him up now. Hare, your leader on lap number 5. So 2 different leaders thus far, 20 laps the distance. And there comes Donlin into your screen, Brian.
Oh, look at Stovall.
4 wide as Stovall puts the slider on. Pat Graham, Hare breezing in the wind, looks to the inside for the 5th spot.
Look at Wettengull down there on the bottom. Donlin rolling the top side. No one knows he's coming. And here now Wettengull's going to, because he sees that 33 out the right side of that car. And Donlin working the top side. Here he comes. He's got P2 at the line. Now Hare's going to get a glimpse of the 33 as they work 1 and 2.
Donlin wants anything but a caution. He does not want anybody to learn about this line on the top. As Hare is glued on the bottom, Wettengull can see it now. You got 3 wide back there for the 4 spot right behind. There they are. There's your lead trio. And these guys are throwing haymakers for 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Boone Evans Jr. slides up across the 19 of Stovall with Graham working the bottom side. 3 wide, working for P4 off of turn number 2. Graham's got it down the back chute for the time being.
Good battle as we work on lap number 9. And Donlin closing in on your leader, Brandon Hare from Elma, Iowa. Hare out of a B-Mod into a stock car. Was it this year or last year? I've lost track of time.
It was this year.
I believe it was this year. Hare out on top, quick in anything he gets behind the wheel of. Hare's got it dialed in tonight. But here comes Donlin chugging on the top lane. Wettengull still throwing haymakers. Now caution on the speedway for trouble in turn 2.
That is the 9 machine, the 9X, Anthony Manley from Osborne, Missouri. Hey, shout out to old DW, Dwight Harlan. I have missed my old buddy. Dwight runs the receiver at the Mason City Motor Speedway on a regular basis, but been off in the summer. Had a unfortunate accident that required some knee surgery, I believe, is what it was. And Dwight healing back up. I'm looking forward to having him back at the racetrack. So the 39 is in the hot pit. That would be Robert Sutherland, the 39 JR. Or is it Southerland? Southerland. Thank you, Todd. Hey, good run, by the way, El Presidente.
That restart. Gotcha.
You just kept starting on the bottom. You wanted the top side. We all knew it.
Yeah, Janet right here on her toes. You were coming.
She's going to need a new set of teeth. She was chomping at her. All right. So this is going to be the cap on night number 1, and what a night it has been. It's not even over yet. We got 11 to go, and I think this one might be one of the better ones of the evening. Nothing like saving the best for last.
Will Hare stay on the bottom? He has no reason to move off the bottom, right?
Brandon Hare would much rather rip the lip. I can tell you that.
I'm with you.
I watch him on a weekly basis, and I'll tell you what.
Back when Webster City had the wall, he was on it.
Mason City, no one enters as high in turn number 1 as that 56H, whether it be in the stock car or the B-Mod. He has got that entry down. And having a great season in the stock car. That is a medieval chassis that Hare is piloting out there, and that car fast and up front. Great family as well. They're always at the racetrack together, Alicia and the kids, and it's great to see. And they race a lot, and they're just good people. And he's leading the way in this one. As we go back to green flag.
Back into the green flag. We have 11 laps to go. Hare back to the bottom of the racetrack. Donlin back to the top. Pat Graham now in the mix. Got the Camaro wound up, whistling Dixie on the bottom there. And here comes the 19 car in the middle of your screen, Jesse Stovar. As they are 4 wide. The 19 car splits the wickets over there, and he is now into the 5th or 6th spot. Give him the top 7, I guess, as Donlin's cruising in. 1 car length separation, 1st to 2nd.
What a race. Donlin doing a great job. That No Limit Diesel 33, the Northeast Iowa driver, as well as Hare. Both working great upstairs. Wettengale, here comes Pat Graham knocking on the door of the 91J. Boone Evans works the top side as well. Keep your eyes on that race for second.
Pat Graham might have, something broke on the top there. The 4 cars off the pace. Boone Evans. And that thing's a bit toasty to the top of turn 4.
That it is, and you can see the steam rolling from underneath, so tough break as Evans had a great run going. Hey, a couple more shout-outs. This one's from a long distance. Shout out to the Jones crew. Andy Jones watching from Hurley, Wisconsin tonight. Also a shout out to Doug Gerhardt, the man behind those duck wontons from the Fairmont Raceway, is tuned in, and the newest Race and Dirt subscriber as he is watching from the great north.
You know when I called you about the Wagoneer, I was in the great north.
You were up in Minneapolis. I remember the conversation like it was yesterday.
Patience has always been my number 1 strong suit.
So if you could see that, Donlin got over the top side of the racetrack as well, lost a couple positions on that one, going to fall back into the 4th spot. So that moves Wettengale and Pat Graham into that first doubled up row behind Brandon Hare, the Elma, Iowa driver, who has led the majority of this one, if not all of it. But Wettengale and Graham right behind him, Donlin and Stovall. Then you got Carter, I believe, Gardner and Brock Badger. With a good run for Brock Badger in the 50B as he started tail in Charlie Berg. He's up to that 7th spot.
Wow. Let's see what Pat Graham can throw at him here. Wettengale right there next to him. Hare's led it since what, about lap 3, I believe. And we are back. Oh my goodness, Stovall.
Is it going to stick?
Throws a slide job from here to Haiti, and he'll cruise up the racetrack. Pat Graham going to try to take it back, but he might make this work.
He might make it work. Graham almost was limited on his entry, but it might have worked better for Pat Graham as Hot Damn going to slide into that 2nd spot. Now back down to the bottom side, right on the toes of the 56H. Wettengale down there as well as Donlin.
Pat Graham might have something for him.
Oh, that Pat Graham, I tell you what.
Speed secrets.
He is cruising with that old Camaro.
4 wide.
4 wide salute.
Hare's, you know what? Hare's having a little bit of trouble keeping it pinned on the bottom. Here comes Donlin again.
Well, we say
into
that.
the top 4, but you know, it's tough to, you don't know where everybody else is at. And he's trying to keep it on the bottom there. This is 5 to go this time by, but watch Hare getting down into turn number 1. The last couple times he's missed his mark. Opens the door a little bit for Pat Graham. Graham's hoping to get just close enough to pounce on it. He might this time.
Well, one of the things, Berg, is different driving styles in car. You can see how they set it up. Maybe a little freer on entry and tighter off. You can really see who gets in better and how the car rotates, and keep an eye on that. And you see the 56H as he pulls Graham off the corner.
Can Donlin throw a Hail Mary here?
Oh, Donlin's sure going to try. If anyone can do it, that 33 might be the guy as he works around the 91.
I'd say Donlin's coming. He's cruising. Oh, my goodness. We got a car around in turn 2 that's going to put a kibosh to the charge. And looking at official timing and scoring, they got Donlin scored 3rd, Wettengill 4th, Garner 5th. So Pat Graham's going to get his choice here, top or bottom in the restart. What's the betting man think on this one?
I'm thinking that Pat Graham will, oh boy, I don't know.
I think he's going to take the bottom.
No, I think he's going to start on the outside.
Let's see.
No
Pat
way? Graham's
taking the bottom. Donlin's going to love that.
Oh, good. Well, I thought that he might go to the top just to try to stop Donlin from going there and hope that he could beat him to turn 1 and get back to the bottom. But no, they're going to stick that way. It's always fun to see that. I'm thinking that I need to...
Donlin's licking his chops right now.
I'll get
a second chance here.
I'll get Trenton on this one. I think we need Chuck the Choose Cone here for the USRA Nationals. Caution lights down. Brandon Hare on the gas, and we are back underway with 3 to go.
Donlin cruising back to the top. Graham is glued on the back bumper. Garner's looking strong on the restart as Donlin goes to the outside. Look at Brock Badger. Bagley, Iowa driver, 3 wide now for 2nd.
Wow.
They are glued and tattooed together. 2 to go.
Hare has no idea that they are stacked up like that behind him. I know he can hear their engines, but he does not know. Here comes Donlin around the outside, the 33. Here he comes.
This is an unbelievable finish here. 2 by 2 off of turn 4. They are under. Hare is under attack with 1 lap to go. He's got it at the flag stand, but Donlin's on the move. Pat Graham going to slide to the inside. Donlin a little bit too tall. Here comes the 7 of Garner. Down the back straightaway. 3 wide for the lead. Graham to the inside. Hare in the middle. Donlin on the outside. They'll touch off at turn 4. Down past the starter stand. Give it to Donlin. Donlin gets the win.
Wow, what a finish as Brandon Hare hangs onto that 2nd spot. Pat Graham ekes out 3rd, Wettengale and Garner the top 5. How